What's up, nerds, and welcome to the Nerd History Podcast, the newest addition to the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. The Nerd History Podcast exists to do what all nerds love the most, dive deep into the nostalgia of nerd culture that made us who we are. Each episode will spotlight one particular nerd history event from that week and take a deep dive into the fandom, the lore, the nerdy facts. I'm Radio Matt. I'm the Director of Content and Resources for Love Thy Nerd and the Station Manager for LTN Radio. And with me today and forevermore is my amazing bride, Daedra.
I'm Daedra, and I am super excited about today's awesome topic.
We are the Nerd Historians, and today on the show, we're taking a look at the history of The Office.
Yeah.
Which celebrates its 19th anniversary this week.
I saw the other day that Pam, the actress, turned 50.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take a quick look at The Office and give our initial thoughts.
Woo. In 2005, the American version of The Office premiered on NBC. The Office is an American mockumentary sitcom that humorously depicts the day-to-day life of employees at the Scranton, Pennsylvania branch of a fictional Dunder Mifflin paper company.
Yeah, Daedra, this is your time to open up.
Oh, gosh.
Tell the people what you think about The Office.
I love it. It's my favorite show. I often quote it, and rarely do people get it.
That is something that boggles my mind.
Yeah.
How does not most people know?
Yeah. I mean,
at least the common popular quotes.
I will say you do feel awkward if you're like quoting Michael Scott being inappropriate or awkward, right? Because then you're saying a line from The Office, but if they don't know that,
they think
you look like you're inappropriate.
Man,
yeah,
she's really inappropriate for the workplace,
right?
That's hilarious. How many times do you think you have watched through the entirety of the show?
I don't know.
If you had to ballpark it.
Well, I mean, if you think the entirety of the show, well, then we gotta like how many seasons were there? So
9.
So, it's only been since 2014 that even all the show was out there, Matthew.
True.
So, that's only 10 years.
How many times in that 10 years have you gone through the whole thing?
I don't know.
Tyranny said that she's pretty sure she's gone through it 20 times. You think you've beaten that?
I don't know. 20's a lot. Now, awake or asleep, because I turn it on at night and it,
I don't think that one counts. Conscious hours only. But 20's a lot, but in 10 years, that's only 2 watch throughs a year.
Oh,
do you think you've done that?
Yeah, probably.
Think you've done more than that?
Probably, especially the first few seasons, because even when it was still going, we bought the season.
That was like the one thing we were buying the seasons of immediately, as soon as they came out, even when we couldn't afford to.
Right. We bought The Office.
We were eating rice and beans so we could buy The Office whenever it came out. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Which one of us saw it first?
I don't know.
Because it was 2005 when it came out. So I had just graduated. You were graduating that year.
I mean, I remember talking about it with someone in college, which was like when I was working at that place.
The library thing?
Uh-huh. Like we were talking about the characters and stuff.
Okay. But that would have been after it started.
Yeah, that would have been a couple years after. I don't know. Probably you. Just because you watched more TV than me.
I did. Did you like the first season when you first watched it? That first very short 6-episode season, or it was very drab looking.
See, I don't know if we watched it in time when it came out. The first
we
season.
didn't.
Yeah,
I bought the DVD for that.
Okay, and then the second season was playing, or maybe it was even the third before we started watching it.
It might have been. I typically don't catch shows until the third or fourth season.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing the DVDs for Smallville, and it was already on the 4th season. I'm like, what? This is about Superman? How do I not have this already?
Excuse me?
I just thought this was another crappy CW show or WB show. Teen drama. Which it really was.
Which it was.
But it got more and more sci-fi as it went on.
Yeah. We're not talking about that show, Matthew.
What? That's not
Talking
the...
about
Oh, I'm
another
sorry.
show.
The Office. Those are the two things we were really watching, though.
Yeah.
Adamantly. Like, of everything that played on air during those times, we were buying the DVDs for those two shows.
I will say The Office was probably like my first show that I really liked that was like an adult show, right? I was very sheltered growing up, and I didn't watch, like, I wasn't allowed to watch hardly anything.
Yeah.
Like, I watched PBS. Like, we didn't even have cable at the time, didn't have Disney Channel, so didn't really see any of those things, you know.
I grew up watching The Simpsons.
Yeah. See, and you introduced me to The Simpsons, and we watched that, but I didn't really like it.
You don't really care for The Simpsons now.
I don't. And I think I can just... The Office was like the first adult show that I think I really...
Well, I think MASH
enjoyed.
maybe fits that description first.
Yeah.
That is a very adult show.
Okay, adult in the now show.
In the now times.
Like live, airing live,
Got
you
it.
know?
Okay.
Not
one that you
rerun.
experienced in real time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it was hilarious.
It was. It still is. Uh-huh. Still regular. Now, what do you think of the last 2 seasons? The ones without Michael Scott?
The things I dislike. What they did to Jim and Pam. That was just stupid. Oh, we can't have a happily married couple. We've got to give you some drama. Hated that. I thought it was very out of character for them.
It was... I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like it was difficult to watch just because, this is the couple. This is the it couple, and they've been married now and had a kid, and it looks like they're doing their happily ever after, and then a wrench was thrown into things. I think that's indicative of real life and real couples, and this was a mockumentary, but it wasn't a mockumentary in the sense that everything was silly. Like, it's probably the most grounded of the mockumentaries, especially in the earlier seasons. It was attempting to look real and genuine.
Right.
And I feel like that was an attempt to put a little reality into it. I'm not saying I enjoyed it, but I don't feel like it was out of character. I feel like it was them adjusting in a way that they hadn't had to adjust yet, from being 2 different people to being one. I think it was good overall.
I think they already were one, and they
were one, but they didn't have anything that they disagreed on yet, because they were still living that same life they had lived for the first 7 seasons, 8 seasons. And then change is introduced. And fear of the unknown is introduced. And the way 2 people differ in how they handle facing that fear of the unknown. I think that's pretty real.
I still don't like it.
Now, Andy, as manager, didn't like that. He had his moments, but...
The mistake they made was that we loved Andy, right? You hated him when he started off with his weird character, right? And then you started to like him, and he grew on you. And then he had to be manager, and they tried to make him Michael Scott, and he's not. He's not Michael Scott.
And there were moments in season 8 where it's like...
And the whole him Aaron thing. Ugh.
Right. But there are moments in season 8 where he's trying to be a good manager, trying to leave old Andy behind, which I thought were okay.
Yeah.
Like, not great, but decent. But then the last season, it's
they
like
tanked him.
He's gone for half of it because he's recording movies and junk.
Right.
And you're like, well, what's the point of even having him be manager? We just spent the whole last season, the end of the last season, right, getting him back as the manager because of the Aaron drama. And for what?
Right.
For what in season 9?
Yeah.
I did enjoy the Sabre Store Florida miniseries that they kind of had.
I liked that, except for the thing they did with Jim.
I actually really liked that too.
No.
I liked how it ended. I liked how uncomfortable it was. I liked the way he utilized his mortal enemy to be his savior in that moment. Had Dwight come in and chase her out.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I like, because I found it online, and who knows if that's true or not, but, and you might have it, I don't know, somewhere, but John Krasinski, they were gonna have him kiss and be tempted, and he refused to shoot it.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I do know that the girl that played she what's her name
regrets
she gets so much hate mail still to this day, hate tweets and stuff.
Poor thing,
because there's so many people that were so invested in this being real in their own minds that
it's like, okay, she's an actor, people.
Well, we are going to take a deeper dive into the history of The Office in a bit
already.
But now it is time for a game.
Oh boy. Let's do this. All right. Each week, we typically go head to head in a game to put our nerdy nostalgia knowledge to the test. However, this week, Matt is taking a break from answering questions to put me through the gauntlet.
That's right. Today, I have 10 hand-picked trivia questions about The Office. We're going to see how many Deidre can get right. Now, as is typical with our trivia, it's all about the X's. Each question is a multiple choice, and if Deidre answers incorrectly, she will get an X, but has to keep guessing until she gets the correct answer. This means that each question could get her potentially 3 X's. I'm going to make it hard on her and say to win, she can't get more than 5 X's. If she hits 6 X's, she forfeits the game.
Is that the same number that you had?
It is the same number that I had, but I had 25 questions, so this is easier on you.
Is it, though?
Now, some of you might not know this, but Deidre and I, as well as our friends John and Hillary Berkey, attended a office trivia contest in our town at a coffee shop, and completely and totally dominated, answering every single question correctly and winning a beautiful Dundee.
Yeah. We have a Dundee.
We do.
Yeah.
We also have a Pop Dundee.
We also were so they said during that time that one of the answers we got wrong, right? And
they claimed that we had one of them wrong.
Yeah, at the end of it, or when they were adding up scores for the bonus thing or something, we were like, which one did we get wrong? What was it? And then they found out that they had said it incorrectly, and we actually had gotten it right. Yeah. Every single round that came by, we answered our questions. You wrote them down on a piece of paper, like 10 at a time, I think they were. We answered our questions, and every round we're like, yep, got all those. And then they announced at one point, everybody got at least one wrong, and I was indignant. We absolutely did not get one wrong. I didn't say that out loud to the people then, but I did afterwards. But anyway, all that to be said, going through this quiz, which had 6 full pages, I think, of questions, 10, I think I barely reached 10 that I think might be a challenge to you. Okay.
So that's why I have handpicked them. It's going to be a little bit difficult because I'm going to have to jump around through these. But we're going to start with question 6 on this list. Here we go. Which character was renamed by his parents at the age of 6? Was it Dwight, Andy, Creed, or Michael?
It was Andy. They felt that his brother should bear the name.
The junior name?
The junior.
Yeah, Andy was originally named Walter Jr. It was renamed Andrew at the age of 6.
Okay, Johnny is 6. Could you imagine?
Just changing his name.
That alone just makes you feel sorry for Andy, man.
All right, number 8. What pseudonym does Angela use when she secretly attends an office supply convention with Dwight? Jane Doe, Princess Jasmine, Catherine Rugburn, or Miss Lollipop?
Jane Doe.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Sure it wasn't Catherine Rugburn? In the convention, Angela assumes the name Jane Doe and gets a hotel room, which Jim accidentally enters, though he does not appear to recognize her.
You're not going to say
I'm not going to say the rest of that line. All right. Jump into number 14. Why didn't Michael attend college? He planned to be a professional bass fisher. He lost his tuition money in a pyramid scheme. His application essays offended everyone. Or he didn't want to leave his mother.
He lost his tuition money in a pyramid scheme.
Wow. Michael did not attend college after losing. Well, that's a whole lot of extra info there.
Right, that's it.
After this.
Just a brief quote.
This thing that
I
happened.
lost it all in a pyramid scheme. But I learned more from that pyramid scheme
In Crime Aid.
than I could ever learn in college.
Honestly,
Or that Ryan could ever teach me.
I did not remember that line until you just said it. I genuinely thought that was going to be hard because I didn't know the answer either. All right, number 20 here. In Crime Aid, how much is a hug from Phyllis auctioned off for? It doesn't sell. $1,000, $100, or $10?
$1,000. And Bob Vance. He's going against Dwight. Yep.
$100 and 1 penny.
And 1 penny. 1,000.
That's not worth it.
Not worth it.
When Jim and Pam stay at Dwight's family farm turned bed and breakfast, what book does he read them a bedtime story from? Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, or the Schrute Family Diary?
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Sure does. Man,
Hey, Harry. He says Harry, didn't it? That's the only reason I... Anyway.
Here's one. How much did Dwight weigh when he was born? 11 pounds 9 ounces, 10 pounds 3 ounces, 12 pounds 7 ounces, 13 pounds 5 ounces.
Wow. I don't know this one, and I'm bummed that they're all big numbers because I know he was like a large baby.
And these are all very large babies.
Like my initial thought is 10 pound.
But that's
the
lowest.
lowest of all of these. Ooh, I might get an X. I'm going to say 11 pounds, 9 ounces.
Oh, first X, baby.
Let's go with the 10 pounds, 3 ounces.
Oh, no, 2 X's, baby.
12 pounds, 7 ounces. Oh,
it was 13 pounds, 5 ounces.
What?
His mother could not walk for 3 months. All right, Deidre, that's halfway to being out of this competition.
Crap.
Right there.
How many questions are you left?
Good news is you only have 4 questions left.
Oh, good.
So let's jump to question 32 on the list here. What does Creed use to dye his hair black? Printer ink, coffee grounds, blackberries, or shoe polish?
Printer ink.
Correct.
Michael was he had to use the same pictures for his meeting because someone had used all the ink
in the printer. Creed dyes his hair black with printer ink and attempt to convince everyone he is 30. Well, in November, he'll be 30.
In November, I'll be 30.
All right, jumping down to number 36. What is Karen Filippelli's Call of Duty screen name? Is it Karen the Gym Slayer? Pam Killer? Kitten Mittens with 2 Z's? Or Knocked Up?
It's Karen the Gym Slayer. Pam Killer? She didn't even know Pam. Come on.
Come on, man.
Who made these questions?
All right. Let's see.
Unless it would have been like a funny inside joke. Right.
Could have been a funny inside joke. What is that called? Foreshadowing.
Oh.
Foreshadowing of when Pam was really killed by
Oh, yeah?
What did that not happen in the show? Sorry. 2 questions left. Which actress is the subject of a hot or not debate at The Office? Hilary Swank, Lady Gaga, Anne Hathaway, or Kristen Stewart?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
It's Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank. Yeah.
The Hilary Swank version. It is.
That quote was making me question it,
whether or not it was
I know
another
that's
episode.
not from that. And I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
Then I remember Kelly's
Hillary.
line.
Not as hot as Hilary Swank.
Obviously, I'm not as hot as Hilary Swank.
All right. Last question.
Okay, so I have to get like all X's
Yeah.
to forfeit. Okay.
Which characters get fired in the series finale of The Office? Kelly and Ryan, Michael and Holly, Dwight and Angela, Jim and Pam.
Jim and Pam.
But it's like a nice firing, right?
Right. Actually, he's a terrible boss to do that. I mean, he's so invested. I thought it was not in Dwight's character because he loves the company and he would make them pay all the severance by firing him.
Nah. It was the finale. It had to be.
But, I mean,
Anyway,
that's a lot of
they were quitting, and he decided to fire them instead and give them severance with, what was it?
best I can offer is like
1 month's pay for every year you've worked here.
something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like that. Well,
Which
only
is a
one?
ridiculous severance, by the way.
only one question tripped you up, and you got
Hey.
your 3 X's there.
That was a dumb question anyway.
Birth gross. Good
feeling
job.
pretty good,
I'm
yeah.
proud of you.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Thank you.
Those were the hardest questions on the internet
Wow.
about The Office.
Wow.
That tells you how much you know about The Office.
Right?
And
right.
more than
how
me.
much you know.
Excuse me.
You were also like, oh, those are easy.
Well, that does it for our game. Let's take a trip back to 2005. Before we dive deep into the history of The Office, let's share some nerdy facts about the show. Daedra, take it away.
The show was filmed in a real office building at the Chandler Valley Center Studios in Van Nuys, California. During season 1, the cast was asked to bring paperwork to do on set. And starting in season 2, the computers in the office were connected to the internet. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So they really were alone.
They really had to sit there during, like, the entire cast pretty much had to be there all day, no matter who was filming what.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because you had to have them working
It has
in the
to
office.
look like an
background.
office. Yeah. Whew. Jim's proposal to Pam was the most expensive shot of the series at roughly $250,000. At the gas station?
It wasn't a real, well, I don't know if it was a real gas station or not, but the rain wasn't real.
The rain. Oh.
So they had to, like, figure that all out.
You didn't tell me it was rain. The weather was bad.
The weather was bad. That's great. Okay.
Wow.
Here comes the swerve.
Okay.
We're not doing a deep dive into the history of The Office.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. There are a crap ton of podcasts already out there who are doing that, including Office Ladies, an oral history of The Office,
Right,
The Office Hours, Scotch and Splenda, The Office Talk podcast, People Person's Paper podcast, Somehow I Manage, Scrantonology, and Who's Your Worm Guy? Just to name a few. Instead, I have gathered my favorite 7 behind-the-scenes stories
Okay.
from the length of the show that most people don't know, possibly even you.
Okay.
All of these are from the Office Ladies podcast, which has been going through the show one episode at a time for the most part.
Why have I not listened to this?
For real. They're almost on 200 episodes of this podcast. And
A lot of days.
I really think you'd enjoy it too. Yeah.
I bet I would.
I stopped when they were in the middle of season 3, so I need to start back up again because as of the time of this recording, they just did the Target, which was the 8th episode of the final season. So they're close to being done.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Time flies.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. First behind the scenes factoid.
Okay.
The season 3 finale, which was where they were all interviewing for Jan's job.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Has an alternate ending.
Ooh, with who getting it?
The season 3 finale, The Job, ends with Jim's big interview. He went to meet David Wallace at Dunder Mifflin's corporate office in New York, but after finding a yogurt lid, gold medal, and an encouraging note that Pam slipped into his bag, he becomes visibly flustered and recalls an intimate moment he shared with Pam in the Beach Games episode. Mm-hmm. We then see him drive back to Scranton, where he interrupts Pam's talking head to ask if she wants to grab dinner after work. Pam says yes. Jim replies, it's a date. It's perfect episode ending, but things almost went down differently. There were actually 2 versions in the script for the ending of this episode. There was this version with Jim interrupting Pam's talking head, and then there was a second version which they did shoot. In the script, it said shoot both versions. The scene, though filmed, didn't even make it into the deleted scenes reels, so we will not see it. But Jenna Fisher described it for the podcast listener. She said, in the second version, you hear voiceover of Jim throwing his interview with David. But it's even more. It's like he's really cracking jokes. He's not taking it seriously at all, to the point that David actually says, do you even want this job? Meanwhile, while all that's happening, you see Pam leaving for the day. She doesn't do a talking head. She's just leaving for the day, Fisher continued. She gets in the elevator. She goes down the elevator. And then when the elevator doors open, Jim is standing there. And she says, you're back. And he says, yeah. Do you want to go to dinner? And Pam says, yeah, I do. And she walks out of the elevator. And Jim pushes the camera back into the elevator. And as the doors are closing, they walk off together, and he puts his arm around her, and they smile at each other. Cut. I would like to see that.
Right? Yeah.
Where is it?
Right.
Fan
That'd
versions,
cool.
fan supercuts on Peacock. Where is it? All right, number 2. Okay. There was. Do you have something to add to that? Sorry.
No.
I don't want to cut you off. Okay.
I think it would be cool to see him like joking too much and yeah.
It would be interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Number 2, there was a quote unquote Jim and Pam at the Stanford office in the background.
Okay.
When Jim transferred to Stanford, you may have thought the writers and crew members moved on from him and Pam, but a scene in season 3's initiation episode proves that the couple was always on their minds. In the scene where Jim wheels his chair over to the copier because he can't get out of it, there's something special going on in the background. Look carefully and you'll see an interaction between Stanford's very own Jim and Pam. So again, this is Jenna Fisher talking. She says, I also talked to Randall about this, and he said this was totally on purpose. He planted a guy standing at reception in the same way that Jim would always stand at reception and talk to Pam. He even has his sleeves rolled up the way Jim used to roll his sleeves up. And Randall said that was on purpose to keep that Pam and Jim thing sort of in our orbit.
I'm going to have to go look for that now. That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. A dumb joke that Michael made in A Benihana Christmas cost $60,000.
Ooh.
Licensing rights to music can be seriously expensive, but sometimes when the song completely makes a scene, it's worth it. Take The Office's Benihana Christmas episode in season 3, for example. Episode writer Jen Coletta recalled that a dumb joke she wrote in which Michael Scott sings parody lyrics to Eddie Money's 2 Tickets to Paradise wound up costing the show a whopping $60,000. Said, I wrote a joke where Michael says, I got 2 tickets to paradise. I'm not going to sing it.
Oh.
Yeah. Pack your bags. We're leaving the day after tomorrow. Coletta said at the sound mix, I found out from Kent Zorbnak, the Office producer, that was a $60,000 joke. I was like, it's a fine joke, but none of my jokes I've ever written have been $60,000 jokes, she continued. But I remember not so long after that, we had some of our music budget pulled away from us. And I can't help but think, I mean, I was sitting at the mix and had no idea that because we sang that song, the song had to be cleared. And the joke was $60,000.
I mean, they didn't have to do it.
But it's a good joke.
I know.
It is technically a parody, but not enough of a parody. Because parody is for use, usually.
Right.
But
right.
Wasn't enough of a parody. Because he still says 2 tickets to paradise.
Wow.
All right, number 4, Jim and Pam ending up together wasn't a solidified plan. When Jim was in Stamford with Karen, fans saw the formerly engaged Pam and Roy hang out quite a bit. That's because there was a real possibility that Pam and Roy would get back together. Not only that, but there was also a chance that Jim and Pam were never going to end up together on the show. There was talk in the writer's room that maybe Roy could win Pam back, Fisher recalled. I also remember it was said that maybe in the series of The Office, maybe later on, Jim and Pam would not end up together in the end, but instead would lead one another to their actual true loves. So this could have been we're going to grow and learn how to be people and then separate to find our actual life partners.
Wow.
Wouldn't that have been sad? I would have hated that. Especially if it happened in season 6 and then we had to ride out the rest of the show.
Right.
Nope.
They would have lost a bunch of people.
Nope.
Wow. Yeah.
Number 5. The Call of Duty games were based on real life. Not the games themselves, which were also, except for the zombie one, but most of them were about real wars. The Stamford branch loved playing Call of Duty in season 3 because the game was so popular on set. Producer Kent Zorbnak told Jenna Fisher that after they wrapped season 1 of the show, the post-production guys moved to some offices in Venice to edit the episodes. Venice Beach. She said that while they were in the new offices, Zorbnak installed Call of Duty on everyone's computers so they could blow off steam during edit sessions. Jenna said, when we moved to the new stages for season 2, Zorbnak did it again, but this time he also installed it on all of the writers' computers, and that's when the editors and writers started playing one another. Fisher continued, they did exactly what Stamford did. They would turn off the lights and have this elaborate match going on. The writers wanted to fit the game into the storyline for a while, and Jim's move to Stamford finally gave them a perfect opportunity. I feel like that would be so fun.
Right, yeah.
If Love Thy Nerd, if all of us lived in the same place and we could all be in the official Love Thy Nerd offices.
Right.
This is the kind of stuff that would be happening.
Yeah. For
all
sure.
Right. Number 6, one of the best cold opens with Jim and Dwight was an accident.
Which one's that?
Let's find out.
Okay.
The performance review cold open featured an iconic Jim Halpert moment that wasn't written or improvised. It was completely accidental. The episode opens with a shot of Jim and Dwight at their desk. Dwight is distracting Jim by bouncing up and down on his new fitness orb, which he claims has completely changed his life and revolutionized his ab workouts, among other things. As Dwight goes on about the core strength and the benefits of using an exercise ball, Jim grows increasingly annoyed, and after learning the orb only costs $25, he decides to stab it with a pair of scissors. They did 13 takes, and it worked just right on every one, and everyone was ready to move on. And what was supposed to happen was stabbed it, and slowly the air came out, and he just slowly sank like the Titanic. In all the 13 takes, that's what happened. Rain slowly sunk to the ground. But on the last take, John accidentally hit the seam of the ball with the scissors, and the entire thing just popped, violently sending Dwight to the ground. You can see the shock on Rain's face as he fell to the floor. That was real shock, because it never had happened that way previously. Everyone was shocked. You can see John break his shoulders, go up very quickly because he's such a pro. He turns his back and just leaves the camera, leaves the shot, which he has to do a lot in the show. But yeah, that was completely accidental. They only did it like I said, they did it 13 times and it was perfect all 13 times. The prop master just happened to say, you know what? I have 14 balls.
So let's
just do one more. Yeah. Let's just do it. And that's what happened. And it was gold.
Wow.
Perfectly gold. All
So
right.
that $20 was really $20 times 4.
Yeah,
14.
really.
Sorry.
$25 times 14. Yeah. All right. Last one. And this one is a doozy.
What?
Okay. The Prism Durosport. Do you remember what that is? Okay. Pam got that as a gift from Roy. An iPod knockoff.
Right.
And it was not real,
I didn't think it was.
but it does have a real website.
Okay.
Turns out the writers of The Office, including Mindy Kaling, BJ Novak, Paul Lieberstein, Greg Daniels, and Michael Schur, got so invested in Pam's fake MP3 player that they not only created an entire tech website dedicated to the Prism Durosport, they also reportedly made a fake review site called Media Loper and reviewed the gadget. Now, that's dedication. It's also been updated as recently as last April 2023, with a blog.
What the heck?
They have a museum of all of their products from the fake history. I would like to take you through this museum of products.
Okay.
All right. So let me
All right.
scroll down. You'll see these on the screen too as we go through them. First up, April 1st, 1976, the Prism Multi. The Swiss Army knife of media players. Over the years, the Prism Multi supported playback of vinyl, cassette, reel-to-reel, 4-track, 8-track, minidisc, CD, MP3, AIFF, DT6, FLAC, and Org Vorbis. With the Prism Multi, your music collection never became obsolete. This, made in 1976, could update all the way up through MP3s and beyond.
I like the doily underneath.
It's a nice, it gives you that good feel. Like all these images were created before AI was a thing.
Right.
You know, and imagine what they could have done. In April 1st of 1981, notice these first few things are April 1st, April Fool's Day. The Prism One, Durosport's first portable player with a groundbreaking product, rich in features yet small in size, only slightly larger than a loaf of bread, and weighing just over 20 pounds. The Prism One held a previously unheard of 2 hours of music.
Oh my goodness.
In April 1st, 2022, the mother of all remotes. Look at that thing. Enjoy unprecedented control over your home entertainment system, appliances, HVAC system, home security system, water heater, and garage door, all from a single remote. So versatile, it can even control itself. It looks like a wonked out phaser. It's got like trumpet buttons for triggers down there. It's got a satellite dish.
Oh my god.
Okay, February 28th, 2006, the automotive adapter. Planning a road trip this summer? Don't forget to take your Durosport product with you. It's now possible to listen to any Durosport player through your car stereo, even the home media center. Our unique automotive adapter uses your car's internal wiring to play music from your Durosport device.
Oh,
If you're not listening to us on a video format, you really should go at least watch this segment on YouTube or lovethatnerd.com/nerdhistorypod, because I can describe this all you want, but if you're not seeing what we're seeing while we're talking about it, you're not getting the full vibe here. All right, March 29th, 2006, the iTunes Compatibility Kit. For the first time, it's possible to legally transfer your DRM-restricted iTunes music to a non-Apple audio player using our proprietary Duro transfer software. You can easily transfer iTunes songs to any size Duro cassette. It's basically recording your iTunes songs onto a cassette tape.
It's like when you used to record songs off
on the radio.
Yeah.
Which was totally illegal if you didn't know that.
Wow.
All right, here it is. This is technically, it doesn't look the same, but this is maybe the first version. Technically, the Prism DuroSport, the Prism 6000, features a stunning array of features unlike any digital audio player. Once you've tried the Prism DuroSport 6000, you'll never listen to music the same way again. In fact, you may give up music entirely. Then the Prism SL 6001. While the original Prism 6000 was a groundbreaking media player, DuroSport engineers were unsatisfied with the product. As one engineer noted, the design team felt constrained by the technological limitations of reality. Fortunately, there are no such limitations in the metaverse. This was April 1st, 2007. Now, this wasn't exactly when it was posted, but during the show, long before the metaverse as we know it was a thing. This is like early days nonsense. It's basically listen to a DuroSport in virtual reality. And this is my favorite one, April 1st, 2009. Smell of books.
Oh my God.
Ebooks are portable and convenient, but they lack the tactile charm of print books. Now, book lovers can finally enjoy ebooks without giving up the smell they love so much. Smell of Books is an aerosol ebook enhancer available in 5 specially engineered book aromas. Can you read the flavors of these book aromas?
New book smell, scent of sensibility, classic musky, crunchy bacon scent, and you have cats.
It's like perfume.
You have
Eau de toilette. It's the
okay.
French. Eau de toilette.
You have cats.
Yeah, you have cats.
Does that mean like smells like you have cats?
Yeah.
All right.
But I have a whole
Wow.
about us section, a support section with FAQs, contact us, returns. Here's the blog. DuroSport is getting flatter. Posted April 28th, 2023.
Wow. Wow.
Introducing Clam, DuroSport's new language model. Let's see. Behind the scenes at our blog, reimagining DuroSport's Prism. It's beautiful stuff.
Wow.
A lot of love for DuroSport electronics.
Crazy.
Oh, man. Well, now that we have taken a look back at some of the behind-the-scenes history of The Office, we asked a specific question to our LTN Discord. We asked, what episode of The Office was the cringiest?
Ooh.
I have got the top 3 here. I'm going to give you the list. And my question for you will be, do you agree?
Do I agree about what?
Number 3, most voted for, Prince Family Paper. The episode where Michael and Dwight go to basically run this family-owned printer paper store out of business. And Mike starts having
pretty cringy.
really big second thoughts. All right, number 2 kind of hurts me. But unfortunately, when you look online of like lists of the most cringiest episodes, it's always on there. Dinner Party.
No.
Perhaps the best episode of the entire dang series.
It's just the best.
It's so freaking funny. There are cringy moments, but even those moments are hilarious.
Do you think we like it more because we watched it and then would watch the bloopers after? And them just like cracking up.
Oh, the blooper of them trying to get that TV is also perhaps the greatest blooper of the entire thing.
Like maybe that just made us like it better because we would like, because we used to watch the episode and then watch the deleted scenes and then watch the blooper like of all of that episode.
Yeah, like
right?
we
when we had the DVDs.
It's the only show we did that too.
Yeah,
on a regular basis.
Yeah,
where it wasn't let's watch the deleted scenes too. It was like, all right, we got through that whole episode. Now we got to watch the 30 minutes of deleted scenes for that episode. It was part of the process. It actually kind of hurt when we moved to Peacock.
It did. You
because,
don't get those.
I mean, I think they're there somewhere, but they're just not. They might not be. I don't know. But there's just not on the DVDs, they were smart enough that it was like, there's the episode, and then right beneath it, there's that episode's deleted scenes. Most DVDs put them in a special features section on the DVD. You got to go find it. You're not going to do that for every episode. They were smart.
But that might be why.
Maybe. But a lot of people like it. Again, our friend Tyranny said Dinner Party's the best. I can't believe this is on the list at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 1, cringiest episode. I feel like you can guess it.
Scott's Tots.
100%. 100% the most cringe-inducing episode.
Yeah. Now, I will
So
say
painful.
these are Michael Scott's notably cringy episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
they
yeah,
are.
just ignore those last 2 seasons, right?
Yeah. Most of the
I
seasons
hate the
that
one where Nellie's
teacher Nellie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Nellie taking over, and when Andy comes back, yeah.
Right. Nellie's cringy episodes are difficult to watch because you don't really ever like Nellie. You
Right.
like Michael Scott.
Right.
And so when he has these painful episodes, you're like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
dude.
Especially then.
Yeah.
Right? Because Scott's Tots happened.
Way late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so good, though. It's a painful episode, but it's a funny episode. They're all really funny.
Wait. They're
lithium. Do you want another battery? A lot of kids didn't take one. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it. We could go on forever.
We could.
Because we do love the show. We could just sit here and quote all of our favorite episodes and lines. I remember we had that. We still have it somewhere, but
The game.
we had that game that it was a
just
trivia-based
thinking
game.
about that.
And that's how that game had some really serious, difficult questions.
Yes.
And it wasn't even for the full show. It was like the first 6 seasons or something. Like it came out.
I don't know actors' names, song names,
Right.
artist names.
Right. Those kind of things
Those
are
ones,
difficult.
I don't. I can't.
But
get.
I remember that is how we trained for that trivia contest. You and I just kept going, trying to get the hardest questions from that thing back and forth.
We had the Berkeys over.
Yeah,
Our
that's right.
teammates.
We were all doing it.
And we were going through them.
Killing these very difficult questions, and then we got
you
there, and
go.
these were the babiest, easy questions ever that if you've seen the show more than once, you'll get. Yeah, I was upset about that a little bit. I wanted a challenge.
Yeah.
Instead, we just dominated. Also, let me just tell this story real quick about how my team shamed me into forcing us losing the secret game that was
secret
going on.
game.
Okay?
That's okay, though, because we dominated. And
But we
it was
didn't
nice
fully
that
dominate because we
someone
didn't
else
win both
got
things
something.
when we
Okay.
should have. Throughout the night, the host kept saying lines setting up for the classic Michael Scott joke, "That's what she said." Okay? And the first, 3 times he did it, I yelled that out. And then after the 3rd time, all 3 of my teammates
Shut up.
said, "Stop doing that. It is inappropriate. Stop it." And so I stopped. And then at the end of the night, we found out that was the secret game. The team that did that the most when he set up those lines won a real life stapler in Jell-O. Okay? And it
What would
wasn't
you have
us.
even done with the
Taken
stapler
a photo
Jell-O?
of it. I would have eaten it. I would have been so proud I would have eaten it. Take us to the outro. I'm so mad now.
Oh my god!
Made me relive this.
Really?
Yeah.
I made you. You're
You
the
did.
one that was like, "Let me tell you." Okay, I did not say anything about it at all. So, what do you think of The Office? If you don't like it, what's your problem? Are you one of those weirdos who prefer the original British version?
Gross.
I tried watching that the other day and I just
bad.
stopped. I was like, all right.
There's a reason there were only 7 episodes of that. So bad.
Anyway, we want to know. Tell us on our socials at Nerd History LTN.
Subscribe to the Nerd History Podcast via the Love Thy Nerd YouTube channel or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And find us on lovethynerd.com/nerdhistorypod.
And we also have our daily Today in Nerd History short and article that comes out every day at lovethynerd.com/nerdhistory with photos and nerdy facts.
Oh, golly.
What is it?
That sound means it's time for a look into the nerd future. What is the future of The Office? Let's find out.
They better not.
It was announced last September that a reboot / continuation of The Office is on the way. Not much else was known at the time, such as if any of the main cast would return, or if it would be a new cast with a hope for cameos from the original cast. Nor was it known when it would release.
Sorry.
That son of a gun, after all Scrubs did for him. But just 2 weeks ago, we got a massive update from Greg Daniels himself. And that update is nope. In an interview with The Wrap, he said, I don't like to think of anything as a reboot. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we ended that story beautifully. The characters had closure. I would never want to redo the same show with a different cast because I think we got the luckiest cast, the best cast ever in TV to do that show. So the notion of a reboot is not of interest. It's more like he's interested in another show of a similar vein.
Okay.
He continued. He continued the notion of maybe something like the way The Mandalorian is a new show in the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean? Something like the notion of this documentary crew doing a documentary about a different subject. That I think could be intriguing and creative, but I don't even know what you would call that. I don't know if it's like a sister show or something. I don't know what the term is, but it doesn't feel like reboot would be the appropriate term for that. So again, like you just said, maybe a show similar to Parks and Rec was intended to be. That was intended to be in the same universe as The Office, but they decided to go more wacky with Parks and Rec, which was the right call. And so they cut the ties of that possibility. But if they do a show in the same vein, that still leaves open the opportunity for an Office cameo or two.
I guess.
Yeah.
If it's the same universe.
Same universe. I think it'd be something
But they're
to say.
also old now. I mean, they are.
That's right. I'm sorry. I forgot, guys.
No.
When actors get old, I never want to see them do anything.
Here is what I mean. They're going to have to put some sort of story on between the last season of The Office and
No.
And they're going to ruin something.
No. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like, what, a hardware store or something. It's a Lowe's ripoff, okay? And it's just, boom. Oh, they accidentally run into a customer. And it's Andy just buying some wood screws. It's just a funny little cameo, funny little 10-second joke. And then he goes about his day. That's all I want.
would accept that.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Also, Superstore, they already kind of did.
Superstore?
The retail's been done
is a Walmart
recently.
ripoff, not a Lowe's ripoff. Okay.
But as someone who worked at Lowe's, I appreciate
Brag much?
the Superstore.
I actually worked at Walmart.
Because it's like the retail. It's still retail.
Retail's retail.
Maybe in a mall, a dying mall.
I love that idea.
There-
A dying mall where the cast is like the owners of different shops and the restaurant in the mall.
There we
the
go.
crappy, no-name restaurant in the mall that sells Thai food and cotton candy for some reason. I love it. Let's get Greg Daniels on the phone. We're pitching it today. Next week, Deidre will be taking a week off, and I'll be welcoming the host of She didn't know it.
What?
Out of here. I'll be welcoming the host of the Two Words podcast, John Berkey, to talk about the nerd history of something in the world of pro wrestling.
Which I know nothing about, which is why John's going to be on here, because he'll be much more entertaining.
Look, Deidre loves me, but loved me when we were young, and really gave it the college try.
I did.
Of liking wrestling.
I did.
She watched for several months, weekly, Monday Night Raw with me. But I could tell that each Monday night, as the credits rolled, her eyes, the light in her eyes.
Also rolled. Oh.
The light in her eyes. That was a better line. I'm sad that I didn't think of that. That was good. I was going to say the light in your eyes dimmed a little bit, but your eyes also rolled. That was good. That was gold. And I couldn't keep doing it. Couldn't keep forcing her to.
I'm pretty sure I had to break your heart and tell you.
I'm pretty sure I was the bigger man, and I let you off the hook. Pretty sure that's how that went. You broke my heart when you told me you don't like chess.
Oh, I broke your face with the chessboard.
You took the very chessboard you gifted me for Christmas and threw it across the room.
Probably like even on Christmas or maybe the day after. It was not long after.
Once again, I'm Radio Matt.
And I'm Deidre.
And remember, in the past, present, and future,
Jesus loves you, nerds.